Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, guys. I'm going to talk some juicy cheese may, as us Mexicans would say. I'm going to talk some gossip. This is actually old gossip, old drama that I never talked about, never really discussed. It's something that's been going on for quite some time, but it was addressed actually and referenced in Pat's video. This was his podcast from last week. If you guys don't follow Pat the NES Punk, go ahead and check his channel out. He wrote 5 crazy things this YouTuber said about me. Now you could see that YouTuber on the TV screen behind Pat. That's Larry Bundy Jr, aka Guru Larry. He's a UK content creator and he's been around for quite some time, as has Pat, myself, and several friends. So this is kind of like a weird situation, all right? So this for me personally, my side in this story started around 2016, 2017. Throughout the years, I had very limited engagement with Larry Bundy. He would come onto my channel when I was a smaller YouTuber, comment my videos in a positive manner. No real drama, no real kind of like poking the bear or commenting about people. But around 2016, 17 or so, his demeanor changed for some odd reason, and he started saying a lot of, I guess, slanderous things, accusations, allegations, anything that ends with shuns at the end of it, towards a lot of individuals in the gaming community. More particularly, guys like Pat the NES Punk, Mike Matei, Game Chasers, Happy Console Gamer, Alpha Mega Sin, GameSack, myself. Like, he just kind of went down the line, and this isn't the first time or the last time that people say anything about anybody, myself included. It comes with being out there, putting yourself on camera, being a content creator. You get people that will criticize you and critique you for whatever reason. But when it's somebody that's actually, I guess, looked at as a colleague, somebody that actually works on websites like RetroWare, Screw Attack, somebody that's a contributor on platforms that some of us are also on, in what's supposed to be looked at as a professional manner. You're supposed to have a sense of decorum. You don't attack and make allegations and twist things towards people that you're loosely working with, whether it's directly collabing or just somebody that's also a contributor on a website. It's just etiquette. Now, there's people that are being like, well, if somebody does something fucked up, I'm going to call it out. Yeah, okay. Let's say I'm on a website with somebody and somebody gets caught putting, I don't know, some fucked up photos of them doing something incriminating online up, or they say something really fucking racist, or they do something fucked up. Yeah, of course, there will be a certain way of addressing a situation, right? But you don't go on the internet in comment sections just running at the mouth, which is what Larry did. I noticed in about 2016, he started just going everywhere, trashing people, trashing some of the nicest guys. And this is by no means me being some kind of white knight defender or anything, because people have the right to their opinion. People have the right to say what they want to say. But there's a major difference from saying, I'm not a fan of this guy, I don't like his content, to saying, this guy is a pedophile and this guy does this and he's a terrible human being. There's a fucking fine line here. For whatever reason, Larry Bundy started coming out with this kind of like weird story that was news to me, because in 2016, 2017, me and some friends, Alpha Mega Sin, GameSack, Game Chasers, Rerez, we made a website called finalbosses.com alongside with our MCN, Screenwave Media. This is going to be similar to like Normal Boots and, Cinemassacre and other Hidden Block and other websites that have like a content curation with a group, like a subset of content creators. Well, I started noticing, for whatever fucking reason, and keep in mind, any kind of interaction I had with Larry Bundy at the time was straight just, thank you for watching the channel, thank you for commenting. He would comment, leave something in regards to it, and that's it. And then I started seeing him kind of like on the prowl saying stuff. Well, according to him at the time, some of the guys on the website and some of the guys not on the website stabbed him in the back. I have no clue where this went, but he was saying certain people, I'm not going to name names, but people that were involved in Screenwave or involved loosely with Screenwave or just acquaintances. People in the game world, like he was literally throwing people's names that had nothing to do with the MCN, had nothing to do with Final Bosses, had nothing to do with anything. Saying, oh, they stabbed me in the back and they did this and that, and I was supposed to be on Final Bosses, and I was supposed to be on this website with this guy, and they did this and that, and he just started going off. And I just remember commenting back to him somewhere, and I wish these comments were all still up, because this is from years ago, and it's probably on channels that have long vanished, or it's on videos that are hidden throughout the, reaches of the internet. Nowhere to be found. It would take a lot of like digging up and researching. But basically I was like, that's so weird, Larry, that you're saying all of this, because you were never in part of any plans to be on any website that I was on. And he goes, well, you weren't on it. I'm like, how the fuck was I not on it if I literally sat at a restaurant and brainstormed the whole idea of the website with Alpha Omega Sin there, because I was his buddy. I was also, buddies with all the rest of the guys. But he kind of went like on an unhinged rant and just fucking lost it. And that's where he started coming after me. Next thing you know, I'm hearing that I'm a racist from people, that he's calling me a racist. He's calling me a piece of shit in real life. And all this stuff for like nonstop. And on top of that, he's still trashing people like Pat, Billy J, Johnny Millennium, everybody. Like that, everybody that was like in or close associated or involved in any form or fashion with each other. Like he was just attacking any kind of YouTuber at the time in 2016 or 17 that was loosely affiliated, especially guys that would go to conventions that I would. Like if you were part of Retropalooza, if you're part of Retro World Expo, if you're part of SoCal Gaming Expo, if you're part of Too Many Games, you were on his hit list for whatever reason. And finally, I just had enough, because he was saying, 8-Bit Eric's a piece of shit in real life. He's a disgusting human being, this and that. So there was a channel, a smaller channel at the time, called Jerps93. He would do a Jerps cast. That's what his live streams were. It was a Google Hangout. He would do a Google Hangout every week. And I was literally, this was unplanned, but you could never, ever write a Hollywood ending better than this. Somebody messaged me. They knew who they are. And they were like, hey, dude, Larry Bundy's coming onto the live stream right now. You should come in about 15 minutes or so and call him out for the shit he's been saying about you. So I was like, all right. And keep in mind, and again, I know there's going to be people being complete white knights about like, oh, you're just defending YouTubers because you're a simp for them and you think they're your friend. No, I went in to address what he was saying about me. And I was also going to call him out on something that I kind of at the time found out. So I pop into the live stream, and literally, like, the second he sees my name come up, he goes dead silent. And that's how it is when it comes to these keyboard warriors on the internet. Everybody acts big in the comment section, but when you call people out, when you confront them in real life or on a live stream, they just lose like all toughness. He melted, literally melted. And I was just like, hey, Larry, how's it going, man? You have a lot to say about me. And he's like, he started just stuttering over his words. I wish I could find this. This is on YouTube somewhere. Like, I want somebody to hunt this live stream down. It's on the Jerps 93 or 95 channel if it's still public. I want somebody to find this, because this was stuff that legends are made out of. So I was like, Larry, you have a lot to say about me, and you're not saying anything. And he basically tried to push it as, oh, it's just internet. It's just internet. It's just talking, and it's just words on the internet. And that's what pisses me the fuck off the most. And it's not being thin-skinned. It's not being sensitive. It's not, caring what other people say. It's not obsessing over somebody. It's always the people that shit talk the most, that when you rebuttal to them, they say that you're obsessed with them. And that's weird. It's almost like they expect nobody to ever clap back. So, I was like, look, man, why are you saying that I'm a piece of shit in real life if you've never met me? And he goes, oh, well, you know, it's just internet and blah, blah, blah. And I've heard, you know, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, but you're saying your firsthand account. And that's the thing is people don't know how to talk either. If you're saying so-and-so is a piece of shit in real life, that implies that you've met that guy, that you've interacted with that guy. And he was just, he actually was just lost. He could not catch up. Then he lost it. He was all like, oh, yeah, blah, 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 and you guys did this. And then he went on his all unhinged rant. And I'm like, Larry, you're full of it. You're lying. Nothing that you're saying is true because I was part of the, you know, Final Boss's creation. I was part of this. I was part of that, this and that. And then I called him out for the main thing that I wanted to call him out. And at the time, there was a website that was called Encyclopedia Dramatica. And it was like a Wikipedia website. And you can go in, you can contribute, you can make articles, and basically people would go on there and make articles about people, like Wikipedia articles about people. And it was found through the grapevine that Larry Bundy himself, somebody that acted like they were a nice guy in comment sections, was going around making articles about people on there, about, you know, AVGN, Pat the NES Punk, about Happy Console Gamer, about, you know, anybody that was a prominent YouTuber at the time. Larry Bundy was consistently going on there, contributing, updating, posting memes, posting fucked up shit about people. And I called him out on that. And he admitted to it. And he tried to hide behind the fact that, oh, it's just internet. And that's the fucking problem, is that, oh, it's just internet is bullshit. So I finally saw, just to tie back to Pat's video segment, I was alerted to this by somebody. They're like, hey, just giving you a heads up. Pat mentioned you on his podcast about the Larry stuff. And I honestly haven't thought about Larry Bundy in forever. And I even told him back then, I'm like, dude, you're a non-issue. I do not think about you. Like, you're so irrelevant to me, and you're such like garbage when it comes to seeing how you interact in the comment section that I want absolutely nothing to do with you. And neither did most of the gaming community at the time. Literally, like, nobody wanted anything to do with him because he was just constantly running at the mouth for whatever reason. Now, recently, a couple years ago, he did reach out and try to act like nothing ever happened. I know he had some kind of like health issues. He's lost a lot of weight. Maybe he had a second, thoughts about his life. Who knows? People get like that when they have near-death experiences or whatever he had. But I'm not going to forgive and forget. You know, I will to this day remember everything that he said, and it's so much to unpack. But it's just funny. When you watch this segment, which I'll go ahead and leave a link down below. Let Pat know I sent you my way. I'm sure most of you guys saw this anyway. Some of the things that Larry Bundy said, just alone, like, with me. Let's go with me real quick. I was racist. I was a piece of shit in real life. That I stabbed him in the back. And that I did all this stuff when I've never interacted with him beyond him coming and commenting a video of mine acting two-faced. Shortly after I punked him out on the stream, he contacted my network, who I was working for at the time as a contracted employee, as a channel manager, actually, telling them that I was racist and that, you know, he was going to like boycott them and tell people bad things about them and all this. Like, he went on a fucking like smear campaign because he got punked out. I checked his ass. And on top of that, he said other things about people. He told other YouTubers that I was racist and stuff, and people were telling the network to stay away from me and stuff like this. But in regards to Pat, if you watch this video, he says Pat's on drugs. He says Pat tries to blacklist other book writers from being at conventions he's at, just to name a couple other things. He also suggested that Pat the NES Punk did other things that were just like, where the fuck is Larry Bundy coming with this? You guys definitely need to watch this, because this is not isolated, and it's so fucking crazy because the podcast that I had with Larry Bundy was from 2016, 2017, and nobody's addressed it. Like, it was kind of like something that happened. There was like 5 or 6 other people on the podcast. Nobody's addressed it until now when Pat mentioned it. And I think this is because Pat has zero fucks to give anymore, which is, I'm kind of liking it. You know what I mean? I'm kind of liking this Pat where he's just coming out with this Petty Pat series and talking about it and going scorched earth like he suggests. I guess maybe because he's done with the podcast now, he is out of fucks to give. So I actually applaud Pat for going out on a limb and talking about this and basically calling Larry out after all these years. It does take a lot, you know, like as a content creator, you know, myself, most likely Pat and others, we do try to stray away from the drama aspect. You know, that's usually for like the commentary / crumb side of YouTube. With gaming channels for the longest time, it's always be positive, keep it about games, don't talk about this, watch what you say about politics, watch what you say about this, don't go forward your opinion. And this year I made the shift in the content as well, calling out cancel culture, woke culture, just basically speaking my mind. And it seems like, you know, with this Petty Pat series, Pat's doing the same thing, and it's good. It's healthy. It's about time that people have been speaking up. And notice, real quick, I hadn't slandered Larry. Pat hadn't slandered Larry. Nobody throughout the years has slandered Larry. Larry's the only one that has been spitting the venom in the comment section. So this came like out to me. Like when somebody messaged me on Twitter and they're like, heads up, your name was brought up in some drama. I'm like, wait, drama? Like, what the hell is going on? Because I had not thought about Larry Bundy. And then this popped up and I was like, all right, here we fucking go. Here we fucking go. Because I had been wanting to talk about this for so long. And Larry, I know you reached out and you commented, but also when some stuff came up recently, like with people target harassing me and trying to dox my personal info and people sending illegal stuff to my email and stuff, you tried to play this two-faced nice guy stuff and give people the benefit of the doubt, but you still do this passive aggressive stuff that is just like socially awkward. And that's honestly why a lot of people don't trust you and can't stand you. And I don't know dick from Adam with you. Like, I purposely, like, if I see featuring Guru Larry in a title, I avoid that. You know, I'm not saying I'm somebody that a lot of people in this community like. You know, I piss a lot of people off directly, indirectly. I don't care. It happens as a content creator. But I've never gone out of my way to shoot venom at a colleague. Yeah, I'll rebut. I'll clap back if somebody is causing issues with me or makes up bullshit with me, but that's everybody's God-given right. But to go out of your way to go into comment sections and make up shit about people, to start shit about people that are colleagues that you're working on a website with, it's fucked up. Especially when you were outed, and Pat touched on it in the video again, for basically putting out an electronic digital version of his book. You put an electronic version out of his book for people to bootleg, and then you wonder why people don't fucking like you. It's because of shit like that. So Pat threw the gauntlet down for Guru Larry to show up at SoCal Gaming Expo in May. I'm scheduled to be there as well too, but you know, I think the con's still gonna have me out, but maybe you know, I don't know. Either way, Larry ain't gonna come out. Larry's not going to come out to SoCal Expo. But the point of the fact of the matter is, something had to be said, and I'm pretty glad that it got said. I know there's going to be some of you in the comments that are oblivious, some of you guys that had no idea anything was wrong, because for so long, for so many years, none of us said anything about this. So, very interesting that it's coming out, and I'm kind of glad. So... I really wish I could find that stream, though, if I'm going to be honest, because I fucking went complete burial on him. It was classic, and it hurt him to the point where he was still continuing to attack me afterwards. And keep in mind, I never brought it here. I know some of you guys, again, don't like the drama, don't like all this infighting or whatever, but you got to remember, just because somebody's on YouTube doesn't mean they're a friend. Just because somebody's on YouTube and makes content doesn't mean that I like them, or that vice versa, or that other people like them and stuff. There's people on YouTube I don't follow. I really don't follow YouTube gaming, to be completely honest, outside of people that I've known for years. I just kind of stick to my own bubble or to my close circle of friends. And I've known Pat throughout the years. I met him like in 2011, 2012. And even then, I would say he's a colleague. I'm not particularly close, but we have had great conversations, great meetups. We ate pizza at Jay's apartment and watched the San Antonio Spurs win the NBA Finals one year. We watched Jay play softball. But, like, we're not as close. So people that might come on here and be like, oh, Eric's just white knighting for his friend Pat. Like, we're not particularly close. Like, I don't know him outside of when we hang out at conventions, but I can completely vouch for him when I do know that everything that Larry Bundy's saying about him is a complete fake, fabricated story, and Pat, whether you like his content or not, doesn't deserve that. Nobody, no matter who it is, whether you like me or not, whether you like Pat or not, whether you like Billy and Jay, whether you like whoever, nobody deserves to have their name smeared with fabricated stuff. If somebody does something fucked up, sure, give them criticism about it, but don't be a douchebag and call them a pedophile, a piece of shit, a racist. That's the fucking problem, is that Larry Bundy would sign off on all of that. So, yeah, I'm glad Pat brought this up. If anything, you know what? 1,000 points to Pat, and kudos. Like, I'm going to buy him a beer. Anyways, guys, thank y'all for watching. I will see y'all on the next one. I appreciate y'all, and go check out Pat's video. Thanks a lot, guys.